Hey sisters, it's Amy Kay again. Still talking about my planner, but more philosophy. In this one, I remembered I mentioned I would talk about buffer time. And so this isn't maybe specific to this planner, but I will also tell you how the planner helps me create buffer time. So first of all, in my mind, what does Amy call buffer time? It is time within my day where I have breathing time, buffer time, time that doesn't have anything assigned to it. And I used to feel guilty about that. I used to want to fill up every minute of the day, but that's also foolish. I am not a better person by dying as a martyr of busyness. I'm a better person, a better mom, most importantly in my life. I'm not married, so my focus is on being a mom when I have buffer time, because it allows me to be more available for my children, most importantly. It allows me to make them the most important thing. Now, sometimes I can't meet their needs when they want me to meet their needs. Sometimes I have to say, I will help you with that in half an hour or tomorrow or whatever. But I have time to help them or to sit with them or to talk with them, answer their questions, whatever it is, whatever. And if I plan every minute of my day, there is no buffer time. And because I'm not just running my life, I'm in charge of 3 other people's lives too. And so if it's all just me, and no time allowed for their needs. Now, obviously, a lot of my planning is food and eating and shopping and just mommy type stuff. But, you know, especially if you're a homeschool mom and your kids are home all the time, they just sometimes need you throughout the day. Even they're teenagers. If they had to, they could live by themselves for a week, you know. But when I'm around, they do want me sometimes. And what a blessing that is. And so I have learned to not fill every single minute of my time. Now, if you remember, I will assign a to-do list for each day. And a lot of the things are tasks. But I assign myself a block of time for doing those tasks. And I'm not always perfect at this. Please do not let me make you think I'm perfect, because I am not. I always have room to improve. But mostly, I'm trying to do those tasks only during task time. And even during the task time, I allow myself buffer time to meet their needs. That's why I said these are things where I can be interrupted. So I don't want to tell my kids all day long, mommy's busy, wait until I'm not going to do that. I need to sometimes just be able to drop what I'm doing and go help them, especially with their homeschool, because they're not free for the day until their homeschool is done. And the Father has blessed me with a really tremendously wonderful life so that I can homeschool. So much of why I do things in my life the way I do it, including Taurus sisters, and not, you know, I could go work at a hospital, sisters, and make a lot more money. When I quit the job at the hospital, I lost a big paycheck. I have not even come close yet to making the same money I was at the hospital. Some people think, oh, you're an entrepreneur, you must be raking it in. And oh, no. But homeschooling and being available, having that buffer time is so important to me. I'll forego the paycheck. But now sometimes, and I told you, most days, I assign too many tasks. Well, oh well, they just have to get bumped to the next day. But throughout my day, I have buffer time, which is, again, kind of why I like the time blocking, because it allows that buffer. So I might triage the tasks and start with the most important task in case something comes up with my kids, and it pulls me away. Sometimes, you know, things come up that pull you away from a lot of tasks that don't get done for the day. Or I can stop and go back or shift them down. But I am learning to just relax with my schedule and allow a lot of breathing room. And not that I'm lazy during that time, because I always have tasks that I can fill it with, but it allows me time to sit and breathe with my kids. Does that make sense? So I'm saying this to encourage you too, to not feel guilty if you're not filling up every single minute. I think the goal with this planner is that the tasks that I do strive for on this day have a time in which I anticipate accomplishing them. But throughout my day, I'm not taking on too many tasks to where I can't do the most important thing, which is hang out with my kids and meet their needs as they come up. So I am loving this planner. And again, I don't feel overwhelmed because I'm now much more careful with what I assign to myself each day, and to not overdo it versus the old system of triage throughout the day. And when I was constantly triaging that, 70 item to-do list, I would sometimes, no, probably quite often gripe and complain and whine about everything I had to do, because that's how I felt inside. And then it would come out my mouth. And I think that probably my kids never expressed it, but if I were a kid, that would make me feel pretty lousy. If my mom was constantly griping and whining about how much she had to do, it would make me feel like I didn't want to bother her with any of my little needs. So I don't want my kids to feel like that. I want them to know that I have time for them. I want them to know that, and they can see my planner too. Like, I just leave it open like this on the kitchen table or near my desk all the time. They can see that mommy is crossing things off, mommy's getting things done, and that mommy has time for them in between her tasks. And some tasks I can just stop altogether and go help them immediately, because their time is important too, especially with, they're doing high school level homework in school now. So when they're in the middle of something, I want to help them with it right when that's on their mind, so they don't have to get distracted and go back to it too. So women, sisters, we just need to take a breath, not bite off more than we can chew, not be martyrs and slaves to busyness. We don't have to live like that. We shouldn't live like that. That's what this planner does. It helps you focus on the most important things. And some of you, sisters, some of your goals need to be to spend more time with your children, to do things with your husband, to make date nights a priority and to schedule them. And maybe one of your goals is to plan out date nights. And if you need frugal date nights, then one of your goals is to download Amy's old magazines. The early magazines have frugal date night ideas in it. Plan, and make it a priority. So you write in your date night and nothing else gets written in there. Nothing. Because spending time, I talk about my kids as the most important thing, but ladies, if you're married, your husband, that relationship is the most important thing, or your parenting will suffer. So make your husband a priority in your planning. There are things that we need to let go of, and this is something I'm working on too. I still have too much on my plate. And another way, this is what I was going to say, another way that this planner helps me is that I know my plan, not just for today, but for the week. Like I said, I take the tasks, I triage once a week, Saturday night or Sunday morning, I triage and I plan out my week. And then when things are popping up in my email, they pop up every day, especially lately. Since I went on the Life podcast, I've had a lot of emails come up, which are wonderful, but they can also derail me from my weekly plan. And so it feels good. It doesn't ever feel good for me to say to someone no, but I'm learning to say either no or to say not right now, hopefully later, because I already have my plate full this week. And I can say that in truth and honesty because I know my plate is full today or this week because I have planned out my week. If I'm just doing triage all day, every day, I don't really know. I'm just putting out one fire after another. And I don't want to lie to people. I don't want to put off something when it's not really the case that it's necessary. So it helps me to be truthful and honest, both with myself and with others, that not every emergency is really an emergency. And they have to wait until later because the Father has given me something more important to do right now, today, or this week. So, all right. you can do a lot of the principles that I'm talking about without Anne's planner. A lot of this can be done in a spiral notebook from Walmart. But these are just general principles that I'm using as I use her planner. So, all right, talk to you later, sisters. Bye.